If budgeting always feels like a diet you quit after 3 days, it's probably not because you're lazy. It's because most budgets are too detailed too soon. The 50-30-20 rule works because it gives you a simple system first, and in this video, I'll show you the version that beginners can actually stick to. Let's be honest, a lot of people don't fail at budgeting because they can't do math. They fail because every payday turns into 10 decisions at once. Rent, groceries, bills, debt, a coffee here, a delivery app there. Then guilt. So today, we're fixing that. We're breaking down the 50-30-20 budget rule, in plain English what it is, how to use it, what counts as a need versus a want, and what to do if your life doesn't fit the percentages perfectly. And stay with me, because later in this video I'll show you the when 50% is impossible fix that most beginner videos skip. Quick note, this is educational content, not personal financial advice. Use what fits your situation and local system. At its core, the 50-30-20 rule is a budgeting framework that splits your take-home path. That means your money after taxes into 3 buckets. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and/or debt payoff goals. That's it, not 27 categories. Not color-coded spreadsheets on day one. Just 3 buckets. And that simplicity is exactly why it works for beginners. But here's the first trap. People hear simple and assume automatic. It's simple to understand. It still takes practice to apply, especially when expenses feel blurry. That's why we need to define the buckets correctly. Let's make this practical. Needs are expenses you must cover to function and keep your life stable. That usually includes housing, utilities, groceries, basic transportation, insurance, healthcare, and minimum debt payments. Notice that part minimum debt payments, not extra debt payments, that matters, because extra debt payoff usually belongs in your 20% goals bucket. Wants are things that improve comfort, fun, or convenience, but aren't essential for survival. Things like dining out, entertainment, streaming services, non-essential shopping, upgrades, and convenience spending. And yes, this is where people argue with themselves. Is my daily takeout a need because I'm busy? Usually, no. It may be understandable. It may be part of your routine. But in budgeting terms, it's usually a want. Your 20% bucket is your future building bucket. This can include your emergency fund, savings goals, investing, and extra debt payments beyond the minimum. This is the bucket that turns a budget from surviving this month into improving your life. And if hearing 20% makes you think, there is no way I can do that right now, you are not alone. That does not mean the method is useless for you. It just means we need to apply it the right way. Hold that thought wheel. Fix that in a few minutes. Most beginner budgets fail for one simple reason. They start with micro control before the person has macro awareness. In normal words, people try to optimize every tiny purchase before they even know where the big money is going. The 50-30-20 rule flips that. It starts with big buckets, which helps you see your spending pattern faster, reduce decision fatigue, create guardrails without feeling trapped, and balance present life with future goals. So here's the key idea. This rule is not about perfection. It's about giving your money a simple shape: survive, enjoy, build. That shape is what helps people stick with it. Before you calculate anything, do this first. Use your real take-home income number, not your salary headline, not what you usually make, not what you made in your best month. Use your actual after-tax income. If your income varies, use a conservative monthly average based on recent months. Let's do a simple example. Say your take-home pay is $3,000 per month. Your starting buckets would be $1,500 for needs, $900 for wants, and $600 for goals. That's the framework. Now here's where it gets real. Your current spending probably won't match those numbers exactly. That's normal. The first month is not a performance test. It's a diagnostic month. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to see the truth. And if that truth is messy subscriptions you forgot, random impulse spending, higher transport costs, that's not a sign you're bad with money. It's actually the beginning of getting better. This next part is where most people get stuck. The needs versus wants, gray area. So ask yourself one question. If I remove this expense for 1 month, does my life become unstable, or just less comfortable? If it becomes unstable, it's probably a need. If it becomes less comfortable, it's probably a want. That one question makes budgeting much easier. A car payment to commute where public transport isn't realistic. Often, a need. A more expensive upgrade, luxury trim, or optional extras. That extra portion may be a want. Groceries are a need. Let's test a few examples. A basic phone plan for work and life, usually a need. A premium plan with extra add-ons you don't use. The basic part is a need. The upgrade part may be a want. Restaurant meals, delivery fees, and convenient snacks are usually wants. Minimum debt payment is a need. Extra debt payment to get out faster belongs in your goals bucket. That last one is a hidden power move. Because once you understand it, you stop feeling like debt payoff is stealing from your budget. It becomes part of your plan. And in a minute, I'll show you how to use that if you're trying to save and pay off debt at the same time without feeling like you're failing both. Now let's kill the biggest myth. A lot of people think, if I can't hit 50/30ths, 20 exactly, this rule doesn't work. That is the myth that makes people quit. They run the numbers, see their needs are already above 50%, and think, great. Another budget rule that works for everyone, except me. No. That's not failure. That's feedback. The smarter way to think about this is simple. The 50/30/20ths rule is a starting framework, not a moral judgment. If your needs are too high today, use the rule to identify the problem, not hide from it. For example, maybe your current split is 65, 25, and 10. That still gives you a baseline. Then you improve one lever at a time. Reduce fixed costs where possible. Cut convenience spending. Increase income. Automate a small goals amount first. If you're in a high-cost city, supporting family, dealing with medical expenses, or rebuilding after debt, your percentages may look different for a while. You are not behind because a template doesn't fit perfectly on day one. What matters is whether your system is moving you forward. So remember this, the rule is useful in 2 ways. As a target, and as a diagnostic tool. That second use is what most videos miss. Now let's build a beginner-friendly setup that actually works in real life. I call this the 3-step beginner rollout. Step 1. Track first. Don't try to fix everything in 1 week. For the next 30 days, track your spending and sort it into needs, wants, and goals. Don't obsess over perfection. Your job is to build awareness. Step 2. Fix the highest impact leaks first. Don't start by cancelling one tiny thing and feeling productive. Start with the big levers. Housing choices over time. Transport costs. Debt interest costs. Recurring subscriptions you don't use. Frequent convenience spending. A budget gets easier when your fixed costs stop squeezing everything else. Step 3. Automate the goals, bucket even, if it's small. This is huge. If 20% feels impossible, start smaller, but start automatically. That could be a small emergency fund, transfer every payday, or an automatic extra debt payment, or a split between savings and debt. The goal is to build the habit first. You can increase the amount later. A lot of people wait to feel ready before they automate savings. Flip that. Automating is often what creates the feeling of control. Let's run through a few real-life scenarios. If you're a beginner and you've never budgeted before, this rule is a great starting point. Start with 1 month of tracking and rough bucketing. Don't stress about perfect percentages. Your first win is awareness, not optimization. If your needs are already over 50%, use the rule as a dashboard. Maybe your plan for the next 90 days is to protect essentials. Reduce wants slightly. Keep a small but consistent goals transfer, and review one major fixed cost. That is progress. If you're paying off debt and trying to save at the same time, use the 20% bucket strategically. Keep minimum debt payments in needs. Put extra debt payoff in goals. And keep a small emergency buffer in goals too. Why? Because if every surprise expense goes on a credit card, your debt payoff keeps getting reset. That's the part people miss. You don't just need a debt plan. You need a debt plan that survives real life. Now, let's cover the mistakes that cause people to abandon this method. Mistake number 1. Using gross income instead of take-home income. That makes your targets unrealistic from the start. Mistake number 2. Calling everything a need. If everything is a need, the system can't help you. Be honest, not harsh. Mistake number 3. Forgetting irregular expenses. Things like annual fees, repairs, gifts, school costs, travel, or medical extras can wreck a monthly budget if you ignore them. Mistake number 4. Making the plan too strict. If your budget feels like punishment, you won't stick to it. That's one reason the wants bucket exists. Mistake number 5. Quitting after one messy month. The first month is data collection. The second and third months are where improvement starts. If you want to start this today, here's your simple action plan. Calculate your real monthly take-home income. Write your target buckets, 50, 30, and 20. Track 1, month of spending. Classify every expense into needs, wants, and goals. Find your top 3 problem areas, not 20. Automate one goals transfer, whether that's savings or extra debt. Then review and adjust the percentages to fit your real life. And remember, if your current split is not exactly 50, 30, 20ths, that's okay. The point is not to copy numbers perfectly. The point is to build a system that makes your money less chaotic next month than it is this month. The 50/30ths 20 rule works for beginners because it does something most budgeting advice forgets to do. It gives you clarity before complexity. It helps you stop asking, "Where did my money go?" and start asking, "What do I want my money to do next?" That is a massive shift. So if you've been avoiding budgeting because it felt overwhelming, start here. 3. Buckets. Real numbers. Honest categories. Small improvements repeated. You do not need a perfect budget to make progress. You need a budget you can actually live with.